Hey, what's up all you Tabaholics? This is Paul here, aka Paulabusa, back with another video. For those that have been following the channel, you guys know that I own a Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 and that is my daily driver phone and I've been loving it from day one. Earlier this year, Xiaomi launched the Redmi Note 4, which I was really excited to check it out, and finally I've gotten the phone and used it for about 3 months and I'm ready to give my review today. So if you're interested in that, just stay tuned. So first up, before we begin the video, I want to give a huge shout out to Xiaomi Singapore for selecting me as one of their Mi Explorers and sending the Redmi Note 4 out for me to try. But rest assured, this review is going to be highly unbiased and I will give you the good and the bad about this phone. Now if you haven't seen my review on the Redmi Note 3, the link will be down below, please go check it out. Now the unboxing of the Redmi Note 4 is pretty straightforward and similar to the Redmi Note 3. So it's pretty straightforward. You get the paperwork with the SIM tray removal pin and the power brick as well as the charging cable and the phone, and that's really it. There is no headphones included in the box. However, this is how they managed to keep the price really affordable for the market, coming in at only 259 Singapore dollars. This will cost you less than 200 US dollars. Now taking the first look at the Redmi Note 4, you will find that the design is now much more slicker looking than the Redmi Note 3. It now features a tapered edge at the back of the phone on the sides, as well as a 2.5D curved glass in the front. It is also 0.8mm thinner than the Redmi Note 3, allowing it for this sleek look. They have also moved a lot of the ports and I/O around to make the phone more symmetrical and thus more aesthetically pleasing. For example, the daylight sensor that used to be on the right of the phone is now moved to the left. The secondary speaker on the top is now moved to the right, which used to be on the left. They have also moved the speakers, which was backward facing, now to a bottom facing speaker, which is definitely much more improved than before. I really don't like the backward facing speaker. At the bottom, although the speaker is only one-sided, the other side is your primary microphone. And if you look at the charging port, it's also moved to the middle. And now if you look at the phone all around, bottom to up, you will see that it's almost symmetrical, which makes it really good looking. Now coming to the hardware of the Redmi Note 4, it packs a Snapdragon 625 with the Adreno 506 GPU with a 4100 mAh battery. It comes in a 32GB variant with 3GB of RAM, as well as a 64GB variant with 4GB of RAM. Now you might be thinking right now, isn't the Snapdragon 625 processor slower than the 650 processor on the Redmi Note 3? Now the answer is yes. However, I feel that this is the part where it's a perfect example of brilliant Chinese engineering and a brilliant use of space. Now when manufacturers want to improve the battery life of their phone, the first thing they look at is, hey, let's put in a bigger battery. But no, instead, they figured out to keep the battery the same size. It's only a 100 mAh improvement, right? But they've opted to use a more power efficient processor, Snapdragon 625 being on a newer architecture and 30% more power saving. By using this processor, they were able to make the battery life much longer than before. This phone would last a normal person about 2 days of use without charging, and for a heavy user like myself, I get to a full day without charging at all. Now typically that would mean about 8 hours or 7 hours of on-screen time with 20 hours of standby time, and this is the results I have been getting. So if you're a heavy user like myself, you will not have any issues. This phone will comfortably last you you one day, even if you are going out at night after work. So you unplug in the morning when you wake up, you go to work, you head out and you get home at midnight, this thing will probably still have juice left. So you don't worry about battery life. And this is why I love the Redmi Note series, because their absolute selling point is the battery life, and to me that is very important. That is the most important, I would say, because I don't like to carry a power brick around. And this was what I'm trying to say. They've managed to extend the battery life without increasing the battery size, and they've physically reduced the size of the phone, which is pretty amazing and a great use of space. Now, in terms of processing power, although the Snapdragon 625 is slightly slower than the 650 because it's on a newer architecture, it is much cooling, more power efficient, and therefore it is able to run on load for a much longer time than the Redmi Note 3. For example, if you use both phones to play games over a long period of time, you will actually find that the Note 4 is much more stable, running the game over long periods of time and keeping stable. However, the Redmi Note 3 will probably be lagging over some time and it heats up rapidly over long periods of gaming. Now, the tagline of the Redmi Note 4 is "Power has a new look." So up to this point of the review, it definitely packs more power than before, and it has much better looks than before. So it definitely lives up to what Xiaomi has advertised this phone out to be. Now, coming to the camera of the phone, the Redmi Note 4 packs a backward facing camera which is 13 megapixels and a forward facing camera of 5 megapixels. Now again, off your mind, you might think that this is a downgrade, but it's not. By reducing the number of megapixels, they are able to get more light per pixel, which improves the quality of the camera. Testing this out on both the Redmi Note 3 and 4, the camera pictures have almost improved very slightly. The dynamic range of the camera has improved slightly. It is able to pick up more detail from a very bright background. Video taking has improved as well because of this dynamic range improvement. Now, what I feel is the colors are still not that vibrant and it still struggles with low light. Now, in terms of low light performance, the Note 4 camera has definitely improved. The pictures now in low light conditions are less noisier. However, it is still slightly noisy. So if you're looking for a phone with strong camera capabilities, you should probably give this phone a miss. However, I should say that the camera on this is decent and is good enough for me. Now, the Redmi Note 4 features a 5.5-inch 1080p display using IPS technology. Coming in from a world where there are a lot of phones using 1440p display with Super AMOLED or AMOLED technology, this phone isn't too shabby. I consume a lot of media on this phone. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. Although the black isn't as black as the AMOLED display, this I feel gives me more natural color, whereas AMOLED displays give a more vibrant color, which is unnatural. To me, I feel that this phone projects more natural colors compared to the real thing, and the video, it's more alike. Coming to the speakers of the phone, the sound isn't too bad. It gets loud, but this is not the loudest that I've heard.
Luxray beats.
However, I do appreciate that they've shifted the speaker position from the back to the bottom, because when you leave your phone flat on the table surface playing music, you can hear it much more clearly. So, nice touch. So in terms of the OS, it comes shipped with MIUI 8, and I am a first-time user of MIUI 8. I've always been on the MIUI 7, and the 8 packs a lot of new features which I felt was really good. So I'm just gonna list a few of my favorites here. Now, the MIUI 8 features a feature called Second Home, where it allows you to essentially have two versions of desktop on your phone. So basically, you can have one for work and one for personal. You switch as and when you want to. There is also a feature called Duo App, where you can have two versions of a single app. For example, if you have multiple Facebook accounts, you can create two versions of Facebook for different accounts. Or you may have two numbers. This has two SIM cards tray, so you can actually have two WhatsApp in the same phone. That is really a neat feature. The third feature that I like, of course, is the 3-finger swipe screen grab. Previously you have to use the volume down and the recent button to grab the screen, but now it just takes 3-finger swipe. And with that, there's also a new feature added of the rolling screenshot, so you can just tap the screenshot that you just grabbed and scroll it until the length that you want, and then just edit it from there. So that's a very useful feature. Now from the screen grab, there's also another feature that I like, which is the social media sharing option. So once you grab the screen, you can just scroll up and it will have sharing options for you to share to different social media platforms. It applies to your gallery as well. So when you're at the picture, you just have to swipe up and then share the picture. It's really convenient. So previously, if I needed to find an image on Google, for example, you find the picture, you download the picture, and then you send it to a friend. But now I don't need to. I can just find that picture on Google, grab the screen and just send it. It's so convenient now. I don't have to download any pictures. Now the last feature that I really like is actually the calculator. I know this sounds really weird, but as a person who shops on Taobao often, the calculator comes with advanced features like currency conversion, length conversion, temperature conversion, volume, area like Fahrenheit to Celsius, and meters to centimeters, things like that. The currency one is really advanced. It's linked to the web, and you'll be able to know how much you're paying in different currencies, and this is a feature that I really enjoy. Now here comes the very important part of the review, the usability. Is it a good phone where you can use it on a day-to-day basis? Now good news is I've been using it for 3 months. I've found no lag at all in my daily use. The performance is okay, although it's on Snapdragon 625. I do not find any lag at all. Switching between programs is fairly seamless. Opening programs as well, posting, uploading, switching between apps, it's all pretty seamless. The display is decent. I consume a lot of media. The display is decent. The sound is decent. So together with the battery life that is so long, you know, I find that it's a very good daily phone. Now seriously, if Xiaomi Singapore haven't selected me as the Mi Explorer, I would have spent money to buy this phone because it is really that good, and it looks amazing as well. I mean, look at that. It's really a great improvement compared to the Note 3. Now having said so, this phone is not without its cons. Now by cons, I do not mean that there is anything wrong with the build of the phone, but it means that it is lacking some features. For example, NFC. NFC is a feature that I would like to have in this world where many people are paying with Android Pay, Apple Pay. Without NFC, you cannot pay with Android Pay. Wireless charging is gone as well because you don't have NFC. You can't do wireless charging, which is a good feature. Secondly, it also doesn't have fast charging. I would love to have fast charging. Now, it takes about 2.5 hours to fully charge the phone. But you can safely get from 0 to 50% in 1 hour. So 0 to 100% is 2.5 hours. Ideally, I would like to have fast charging. But again, this phone lasts for quite a while and it really doesn't need to be charged that quickly. But it's good to have. In conclusion, should you get this phone or not? And the answer is yes. For me, it checks all the ticks of my needs. Your needs may be different. So if you're looking for a budget phone with a good camera, then you can probably give this a miss. However, if you're looking for a budget phone that is good for daily use and the battery life is long, get this phone. Now, if you have a Note 3, should you upgrade to the Note 4? Again, the answer is yes. Don't be blocked down by the specs. I can really tell you, although the specs sound that they are lower, but this phone performs better than the Note 3. It looks a lot better than the Note 3 and performs slightly better than the Note 3. So I highly recommend this phone, the Note 4. With that, we've come to the end of the video. Hope you guys liked it, and if you enjoyed this review, please do leave a thumbs up down below. I'll see you in the next one. This is Paul here, signing off. Ciao.